Hey there! Are you afraid of death? The notion that there might not be an afterlife and you will be engulfed in a never-ending void until all of eternity? Yes? Well, today, the many denizens of Skyrim have been struck by such a fate. This is the dark timeline where Alduin got into a traffic jam and showed up 5 minutes late to Hagen, resulting in the Dragonborn being beheaded. With no one to stop him, Alduin and his entourage of war enthusiast Scalies led an army of vegans to overtake and decimate all of Skyrim. All the towns and cities now lay in ruin, a shadow of their former glory. There is no guard to tell you about his time as an adventurer, there is no Lydia to carry your burdens, and there are no children to murder. Very unfortunate. The fate of the world now lies upon us who survived this whole debacle because we have spent the last few months in our goon cave betting all our money on Japanese grasshopper scooter racing and gambling.
What the fuck?
But sadly, Alduin cut our power supply and we ran out of money, so our hand is forced. We will set out on an adventure to liberate every major city in Skyrim, each one protected by a dragon priest, a dragon, and a whole army of undead. Additionally, we will have to face 13 named champions of the undead, each one bringing their own unique flavor of ball-crushing torture. Also, I will be playing on legendary difficulty, just to make things more painful.
What the fuck?
Only after cleaning up the undead scum from every corner of the map will we face Alduin at the peak of the highest mountain, and by defeating him, return the world to the way it was. Before we even load into the game, we are faced with our first challenge, our own game files. Allow me to explain the Skyrim modding experience. First, go to Nexus Mods, get flashbanged by whatever godforsaken abominations people post on there. Then, search for some cool mods. Find said cool mod and gaze upon it in horror as you open the list of requirements.
Oh.
Well, it can't be that bad, you think to yourself. You click the first one on the list, only to find that it itself has 4 more requirements. Opening the first of those, your hand trembles as you dare open to see if the requirement of the requirements has any requirements. It has 4 more. You have been downloading mods for the past hour and still haven't gotten to the one you originally wanted. Use Vortex as your mod manager, despite everyone recommending against it, because you are a contrarian and every time someone says to use Mod Organizer instead, it makes you want to use it even less. Anytime there is a file conflict, you click on the recommended option and hope that Vortex knows what it's doing. If there is no recommendation, you guess blindly. I'm sure that won't have any consequences. Your game directory has more than doubled in size, and that's considered very small in the modding community. Once you have installed all the mods, downloaded the script extender, assembled the right load order, adhered to the 19 different readme instructions, deployed all the mods, solved conflict issues, updated the third-party animation program, ran the third-party animation program, checked that your third-party shader replacer is installed correctly, recalibrated the hyperdrive, configured the computer above. You feel ready to start the game. You know you've done a good job when every time you launch the game, a command prompt flashes on the screen for a split second, and the DLL error pops up. Would you like to exit the game? Yes, highly recommended. No. An open animation replacer error greets you in the menu. Well, that's just lovely. Pretend to know what you're doing as you click a bunch of random bullshit in the editor. Give up and pull the plug by disabling everything that's not working and restart the game. And when it finally seems like everything is working, you find out that every time you exit to desktop, the game crashes. With our game-breaking issues fixed and our non-game-breaking issues ignored, we can finally get into the game. Our journey begins at the character creation screen, where I immediately get to work making the most horrendous creature the world has ever known. A balding middle-aged man.
Holy fuck.
Once I'm done creating baby alien's green-haired cousin, and naming him accordingly, I venture out into the open world. Outside we find a chest containing some starting gear, basic level armor, decent weapons, some potions and a few spells. We also meet Lorir, a cat eat who claims to be the person who saved us from the apocalypse. Thank you for your service. Now, please help me out more by becoming a part of my XP bar. Fresh out the gate, we don't have much. No skills, no perks, nothing leveled up yet. Just some vague notions for our future and some misplaced optimism. Statistically speaking, that makes us the average college graduate in the Big 26. But it doesn't take much intellect to smash in people's faces with a two-handed hammer, so for now that will be our main form of offense. I start heading down the mountain where I meet our very first undead enemy. First one down, only 1753 to go. Yes, I counted. I graciously make my way down the mountain and reach the town of Falkreath. Populated by a massive horde and a dragon priest, this will be our first major obstacle. I head to the gate and start hacking away at them one by one.
Oh my god, that's so many.
Wait a second, guys. Let me just drink a few potions. Alright. I cleave through the regular Draugr easy enough, but when Sidgir the Eager joins the fray, things stop looking so great. It seems at level 1 I'm not quite powerful enough to handle a Dragon Priest, so we're gonna have to do some preparation. I fast travel to Hagen and start heading east, running into a whole battalion of undead on the road. Passing through the mountains down in the forest, I find a small wooden shack, from which I loot a wide variety of ingredients and crafting materials. This will be important in the future. Making my way down the mountain, through the town of Iverstead, past the friendly locals, I reach my destination, Fort Mall. The reason I just ran across the map to a seemingly random castle is to get this little book sitting in a bucket, a spell tome of conjure-bound bow. The few levels I gained up until this point were all put into Magicka so that I can cast this spell. It summons an ethereal Daedric bow that has some of the best damage in the game. It also has infinite ammunition and benefits from both the conjuration and normal archery perks. It's strong enough to one-shot most common enemies, making the large hordes much easier to deal with. In order to balance this out a little bit, I will not be using the automatic aiming, which is effectively aimbot. Instead, I will rely purely on my own precision with the bow.
Shit.
After looting the inside of the fort, I head out where the Windhelm Overseer was patiently waiting for me. Equipped with my new Shadow Sorcery, I feel confident that I can take him in a fight. I quickly head inside the tower of the fort to take cover. From here, me and the Overseer engage in a lethal version of peekaboo. I periodically dip in and out of my cover to perforate him with magical arrows, while he tries his best to fly around and blast me with high-octane sharpened ice. Eventually, I get the better of it and absorb its soul. From here, you might think I would head back to Falkreath, but no, there's more. I start heading north towards the town of Winterhold, traversing through the cheerful landscape and encountering all the lively locals. I pass by the major city of Windhelm, where I encounter a modest number of enemies. Trudging through the icy wasteland, I can spot my target in the distance, the College of Winterhold. I avoid detection by the giant Mark Zuckerberg and reach the city. A few zombies await my arrival. Just a few. I try fighting my way through, which goes as you would expect. On attempt 2, I ditch fighting and just run past everybody, making it into the college courtyard and quickly jumping down a hatch into the midden. I head deeper down and reach my destination, the Atronach Forge. This divine altar allows us to manifest items, creatures and other cursed artifacts from the underworld. Most of the stuff we can do with this is pretty useless, but by using the ingredients gathered in that shack and along the road, we can create a spell tome of Conjure Frost Atronach. So, ladies and gentlemen, meet the undisputed, uncontested, unquestionable GOAT of this run, Dwayne "The Ice" Johnson. He's an expert at breaking the ice. You could say he's pretty chill, always has an unwaveringly cool attitude. He'll be serving as our main frontline tank. Attacks bounce off of him just as easily as criminal charges bounce off of Trump. But that's not all. It's written into his contract that he can't lose, as anytime his HP drops to 0, he just disappears, and I can resummon him back into the fight. He's perfectly capable of absolutely pulverizing the opposition and giving our enemies the cold shoulder. Joined by our newfound ally, we waste no time bludgeoning, piercing, and taking our enemies to rock bottom. But we can't go haywire on the rest of the town just yet. The combined power of the Overseer and the Dragon Priest would still be too much. I climb up to the top of the building, looking to bait the dragon to engage. A bit of waiting later, I can spot the giant oversized toad in the distance. Now, you might be thinking, Mox, that's a giant murderous flying reptile that is about to dissolve you with liquid nitrogen. And that's true. But don't fret, I had a plan. In 2027 BCE, I was the emperor of the Queen dynasty. I was having a lovely afternoon ordering thousands of peasants to be worked to death to build my life-sized Warhammer 40k army, also that the gaming community would finally think I'm cool, when suddenly some assassin bursts in, sent to kill me for the crime of enslaving and massacring a few million people. Honestly, I think he was being dramatic. Regardless, he chases me around the throne room until I deploy my signature shimmy of running circles around the pillar for 5 minutes straight, until the guards show up. So, using the exact same thing, I tuck in and out from behind the pillars in the college's courtyard, slowly whittling down the dragon while its breath and bite attacks fail to hit me from behind cover. The strategy remains undefeated. From here, me and my boy Dwayne absolutely mock the Dragon Priest and the rest of the remaining undead. Now it was time to head back to Falkreath, to where it began. The lone dragon priest was no match for our dynamic duo, and we quickly clear it out. Arriving in Riverwood, I bear witness to the final living resident getting slimed by Arachnirex the Dreadweaver. He is our first boss from the Abjects mod. I deploy the Dwayne and get to work. He actually gets packed up pretty quickly, forcing me to kite away. But this boss seems to have pretty low HP, so I just shoot him one more time and...
Shit! Fuck me! Fuck me! Shit! What the fuck?
What the fuck is that? Turns out this calcium clown had a second phase, where he turns into some kind of necromantic mega bone spider. Who thought it would be funny if it sprinted faster than me? I do the Skyrim classic of running across ankle-high water to escape, because every single enemy in this game has crippling hydrophobia. As I spend a few seconds healing myself, I can see that most of the enemies are heading back to the village, except the bone spider, who is just standing there, staring at me. That's mildly terrifying. Once I start shooting him from the safety of my kiddie pool, he starts skittering away, resulting in me having to play cat and mouse of stepping outside the river so he comes back, shoot him, then walk back in. Rinse and repeat. This works, and I woke up to marvel at the Lovecraftian design of this arachnid freak. I decide to check out some of the other bosses in the local area. Heading inside the quest-marked cave, I met with some splendid interior decoration. I fight my way through the dungeon, briefly getting stopped by an inconveniently hidden lever. Why would you hide the lever to your own door? Like, what's the point? That's gotta be the worst defense system out there. Where the fuck is it? Where is it? Why would you hide it? Do you need an offering or something? Here you go. Here's a corpse. There you go. I killed a zombie in front of you. Are you gonna open now? No? Great. Where the fuck is the fucking door? There it is. It was behind the fucking chair. You gotta be kidding me, man. It was behind the fucking chair. Then reached the boss, Haldir. He was quite an interesting fight, not having much HP, but dishing out a lot of damage in return. And anytime I did 1/4 of his HP, he would split into 4, and all of his clones did the same damage as he did. I was able to survive our encounter by consuming my own body weight in healing potions in a matter of seconds. Once defeated, I take a brief moment to aura farm on his throne. Yeah. My next destination is the Half Moon Mill, where the Flameborn Lich Ear resides. It takes the human mind roughly 100 milliseconds to process pain. When the Ocean Gate sub imploded from pressure, it took about 3 milliseconds, meaning the passengers literally died in 0 ping. But this guy, he killed me even faster than that. I'll take the subtle hint, and we'll come back later. Some wildlife abuse and walking later, I reach Whiterun. I make my way to the front gate, where I'm jump scared by the local lizard authority. I get ready for the fight when a third HP bar appears. Sir, there's a second dragon. As it seems, Whiterun has a named dragon in the city and an overseer separately. So you know, that's awesome. On attempt 2, I make my way deeper into the city before having to face the combined might of 2 dragons, a dragon priest, and a small armada of undead. That went about as well as you would expect. Fuck you! Fuck! Okay, oh my god, there's too many of them, man. In moments like this, I have to consult the ancient wisdom of history's most famous fanboy. Divide and conquer. I ran out into the open field to engage the overseer one-on-one. This was a marginally easier fight. This victory gave me another level up that I used to get the perk Longshot, which increases the damage of my bow based on how far my target is. As you can imagine, this is really effective against dragons that are flying high in the sky. Back in Whiterun, I find out that the aggro range of a dragon is greater than a priest's. Possibly because I'm not a defenseless child. This means I can lure out the big dumb lizard and engage it separately. Get destroyed, get annihilated, get liquefied, you're dead. Once that's done, me and Dwayne take turns granulating the Dragon Priest. Since most conventional ways of getting gear, such as merchants, are, you know, dead, each major city has a chest somewhere filled with some decent loot. In these, I find better shoes, gloves, and a helmet. My character looks prettier by the second. After the priest was turned into fine powder and snorted up into my nasal cavity, we were prompted with a new main quest objective: find those who shouted Dovahkiin. There's no quest marker on the map, but I know from playing the game that that's normally from the Greybeards. So begins my ascent to the highest peak of the mountains. I don't know why I just did that, because the actual climb was very boring and nothing happened. But anyway, we made it to the top. Inside High Hrothgar, I discovered the words of power written on the floor. The halls lay empty, not a soul in sight. Searching the courtyard, I find a combination of human and dragon remains. I think I can deduce what happened to the Greybeards. A bit further, I find the words of power for clear skies. This shout, well, clears the sky, allowing us to make our way through the icy storm and reach the top of the mountain, where I assume we would face Alduin. But our quest of liberating all the main cities and defeating all the bosses is not yet complete, so we will be back later. Fast traveling to the city of Windham, I head inside the gate and are greeted by the usual.
Holy fuck!
Windham is basically Naples if you replace the Comorra with dragon-worshipping undead maniacs, and the pizza with, well, dragons. All that to say, the streets are narrow, and most of them lead to a dead end where I will surely be stabbed, lit on fire, and frozen, all at the same time. The battle here was chaotic to say the least. I had to constantly heal myself to survive, but this meant I didn't have enough magicka to summon my bow to deal any damage back, meaning I just kind of ran around, taking a pounding from everyone present. I'm still talking about Skyrim. I managed to muster up enough blue juice to summon Dwayne, who distracted the dragon priest, giving me some time to recover. Then I noticed the cramped nature of the city meant the dragon didn't have many spots to land. I was able to use this to my advantage to separate and kill the dragon priest. After that, the dragon alone was easy work. I find some cool stuff in the chest, including a ring of health, spell tomes, and more importantly, a circlet of archery. Bows do 20% more damage. That's really good. Also, it makes me look like an absolute buffoon who can't put on a headband properly. My next target was Riften, so I fast traveled to the nearest known location and start walking. I could take the perfectly normal and walkable road, but roads were invented by the government to track your movement and make you predictable, so I swam 2 rivers, fought magically sentient plant matter, and got carpal tunnel while climbing a cliff face to get there in roughly the same time. The Chinese pillar strategy makes a repeat appearance, and we take care of the overseer outside the gate. I thought at this point me and Dwayne together were strong enough to just 2v2 the priest and the dragon. But I was mistaken. Dwayne burned faster than an Irishman at noon, and I had to retreat into the city. I discovered that the railway door that leads to the sewers is open. This is huge because enemies physically cannot follow you through doors that have a loading screen. This is a little broken because anytime I fall to low HP, I can just retreat down into the sewers like a literal rat, and by pressing T and enter, heal myself to full. That being the case, this place was easy work. My next target is the bitch-ass flame lich who exploded me earlier. I'm back, motherfucker. You have nothing on me now. Okay, he's still pretty strong, but I can abuse the fact that my shout sends his ass flying to the ground.
I absolve you of your sins. You have been forgiven.
Combat boiled down to me shouting at him, shooting him while he's down, then running away until my shout comes back. Could this be considered an honorable strategy? No, but it worked. Next I climb through the mountains near Mortal, where I find another one of the bosses, Malgrim the Ashenbrand. I'm just gonna call him Cool Sword Guy, cause damn, that's a girthy sword. I'm still talking about Skyrim. I watch as he cleaves through Dwayne in 4 attacks. That's concerning because it most assuredly means that he will one-shot my supple archer body, so I have to be very careful to dodge every one of his attacks. This guy was a real pain in the ass. He has this funny ability to teleport right on me every time I hit him with an arrow. This made kiting him not a very easy task. Multiple very close encounters with death later, I managed to best nuts from work. Okay. So far, I haven't been doing things in any particular order. I've kinda just been running around the map and stabbing whoever I came across, which, admittedly, worked pretty well.
Oh, I just nutted. I screamed.
But it's clear these bosses are only going to get more and more difficult, and British citizen maxing isn't going to be enough to keep up with them. I have to level up and get some better gear first, by liberating the remaining towns. So, that's what I did. And with that, all the main cities of Skyrim have been liberated. During my rampage across Tamriel, I acquired much better armor and leveled from 14 to 17. With this newfound confidence and power, I head out to the Swamps of Mortal to face the next boss. Cleverly named the Horror of Mortal, a hooded skeleton-looking dude with a large axe. He can also fling magic and summon skeletons. And he's dead. The next name on my hit list is Movarth Piquini Linguini, Mozzarella Linguini. Heading inside his cave, fighting my way past a few Australian puppies, then walking into his room, I do the usual operation. Then I watch in horror as Dwayne gets absolutely destroyed in 2 attacks. Let me tell you, this guy is an absolute bastard. He has insane melee damage with his stupid ass cane, can annihilate you with ranged spells, and by far his most annoying ability is anytime I hit him with an arrow, he teleports behind me. This not only means that I can't kite him, I also can't shout him to the floor. Amazing. I die to him a few times. I get insanely lucky on one attempt and actually get him, but die to his lingering magic damage. Then die a couple more times. Eventually I had to wave the white flag and maybe one more try. Fine, I do some leveling up. I get the conjuration perk Bone Collector, which allows me to combine human bones at an altar to summon a permanent skeleton follower for every 75 points of magicka. Their damage isn't impressive, but if their HP drops to 0, they just kinda take a knee and get back up in a few seconds, making them effectively immortal. This on its own doesn't do much, other than giving my life-stealing enemy a free sippy cup to heal from. But I also have this little spell called a Soul Trap. What it does is it marks an enemy, and if you kill them within a certain time frame, you will fill up a soul gem with their soul. It's kinda fucked up if you think about it. But there is a devious little detail about this spell. You get experience points even if you don't kill the person you casted it on, meaning I can just repeatedly cast it on my skeleton to keep gaining conjuration XP and level up the skill for free. So after torturing my skeleton for 30 minutes straight, I reach level 100 conjuration. This method also power levels me to 24, so I have a few points to spend. I get a perk that juices up my summons, another one unlocking skeletal mages at altars, and a perk that lets me summon a second Dwayne. That last one is as strong as it sounds. Additionally, I put all my points into magicka, allowing me to summon a squad of spooky guys to aid me. Accompanied by my new hit squad, we roll up to Adam Sandler's Cave of Fun, and me and the gang absolutely curb stomp him. Looting his body, I take his clothes and luxuriate in my newfound drip. 3 new names are added to the list. Time to find them. Slogging through more wildlife and zombies, I reach our next boss, Eldrick the Frost Titan. I won't lie, upon first sight, this guy looked like an absolute joke. With his flaily arms and stretched ugly limbs, he looked more like a wacky waving inflatable arm tube man than a mighty enemy. But once we damaged him down, he went into his second phase. You versus the guy he tells you not to worry about. This second phase has very high HP, one-shots all my summons, and me. He's also deceptively fast, summons snowstorms, and has a small army surrounding him just in case he alone wasn't enough. I attempt him a couple of times, never being able to damage him under half HP. I'm gonna have to become even stronger if I want to beat this guy. But I have some bad news. Even though I'm level 100 conjuration, that doesn't mean I know every spell that I could cast. After a bit of research, I find out every single high-level conjuration spell is owned by one guy in the College of Winterhold. This dickhead not only has all the mastery level spells, he has an absolute monopoly on almost all conjuration spells you can find in the entire game. And because he's a friendly NPC, as you know, those don't spawn. I was absolutely devastated. But then I remembered In 371 BCE, I was the commanding general of a military force consisting exclusively of homosexual male couples. Our yucky hetero enemies were beating us repeatedly in a series of battles using a tactic called the phalanx. The power of homoerotic love apparently isn't enough to pierce a shield wall, so I had to get real creative. We copied their exact strategy 1-to-1. But we made our formation thicker and put our best soldiers on the wrong side. Real game-breaking stuff. Ended up working like a charm. Anyway, the point is, this is the exact same situation. I am faced with a horde of undead and a giant. I will have to copy them, create my own army, but make them better, faster, and stronger. Stronger. I go into Vortex and disable the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. This is highly recommended against, as it has a not-so-zero chance of making your save file unplayable. Then I go into the Hall of Countenance, where Phineas would normally be, because even though he might not spawn in, his vendor chest does. The way merchants work in most Bethesda games is that they don't actually have all the things they sell on them. They have that in a separate container under the map, that they pull from whenever you buy or sell to them. These are meant to be unreachable for the player. But as we know, Bethesda is a great gaming company, and unless you have the unofficial patch, there is a way. Using high-level plate magic, platemancy if you will, you can place a plate up against a surface, and by running into it, you can sometimes glitch into it. Once you are in, you can jump down into the void and try opening the chest while falling.
Fuck!
The thing is, walking into the wall is unreliable. Very unreliable. My summons watch me repeatedly smash my head into the wall for multiple hours. But after a while, I press the fastest quick save of my life and begin trying to reach the chest. Yes, I got it, yes. Oh. Looting the inside of the chest, I get my hands on all the highest level spells in the game. Some of you nerds might say, "But Mox, mastery level spells only appear if you do the NPC's questline." And yes, you would be right. I spawned them in. But come on man, it's so fucking stupid that there's only one! I got multiple different skeleton summons. A Bone Colossus, who is a 3-in-1 deal and heals nearby skeletons. An Ancient Death Priest, literally a weaker version of a Dragon Priest. A Dromora Lord, who is the most boring, but in terms of raw damage, he's the most efficient. And finally, Dead Thrall, that allows me to reanimate a dead body as a permanent ally. Remember Cool Big Sword Guy? Yeah, he's my friend now. I also go and gather some more human bones and summon as many skeletons as I can, for a total of 6. I have now successfully copied my enemy's strategy and made it better. Anytime I see an undead patrol approaching, I rest easy, knowing I won't even have to lift a finger to win this encounter. Eldrick now stood no chance as my army surrounded him and he had to take it from all sides. Still talking about Skyrim, the next few bosses also didn't stand much of a chance. The second to last one was notable, Queen Potema. I had to make it through an extensive and well put together dungeon with a variety of enemies and some creative puzzles.
My skeleton looking like Verdor.
And the queen herself looked stunning. Credit to the creator, this mod is amazing and I highly recommend it. She put up a respectable fight even against my Bone Brigade of Doom, killing all my summoned skeletons and even taking me multiple attempts. But eventually she was defeated and it was time for the final boss. I actually ran into this guy on accident back when I was clearing out Solitude. And that went like this.
Holy fucking fuck! Whoa!
The way his fight works is that you walk in, the gate shuts behind you, he then appears and absolutely atomizes you with the power of the sun. If you survive that, he summons a group of spectral archers and pulls out his sword to whoop your ass. But this shouldn't be an issue, I can just summon my... That's weird. Let me try again. I'm sure that's just a bug, right? No. Wait. You can't summon in here. For some reason, any conjuration spell I try casting inside his arena gets placed outside the gate. I'm not sure if this is intended, but it definitely fucks my whole build over. Because of course it does, why would it not? Fighting this guy without any of my minions would be nearly impossible. I barely do any damage, and kiting him while being shot at by archers is no easy task. But I couldn't fall short so close to the finish line. I had to get creative. My altar skeleton summons actually get inside if I get far away enough from the gate, because they teleport after me like a Minecraft dog. But they are too weak to matter much. A bit of trial and error later. I have a breakthrough. You can drag corpses inside and then resurrect them once you are inside. Absolutely genius. Two issues with this. Death Thrall is a slow spell, and this guy doesn't give much time. 2. I would need to find 2 powerful enough corpses that can defeat him in combat. Big Sword Guy is one, but all the other ones are too high level to be affected by my spell. But I had one final trick up my sleeve that I haven't used until now. The Ritual Stone. It's a standing stone located east of Whiterun that when used resurrects every corpse within a range around you. No limit on how many, and seemingly no level cap either. It's only once per day, but the wait button exists, so that may as well not be there. The catch is they don't stay up forever, which will cause some difficulties in a second, but first I had to do some testing. Oh yes, every one of the previous bosses can be resurrected with this. So begins my quest of collecting every one of the bosses like Dragon Balls. I immediately run into an issue. Because they are only reanimated for 200 seconds, you can only fast travel short distances with them, roughly the amount you could walk in that time, forcing me to jump from location to location like it's Minecraft parkour. But a problem arises when every discovered point is too far away, in which case I have to walk. This process was tedious to say the least. Because there is so goddamn many of them, the pathfinding gets confused, so they follow me in a conga line. This is annoying because when they die, I can't hit them all with one cast of my spell, so you have to corral them like some kind of herd of sheep, or fast travel in place so they bunch up. Sometimes when you fast travel, most of the bodies make it through, but some randomly don't. So you have to go back and get them, but then the ones you left behind now disappear, and other times bodies just straight up disappear for no reason at all. It's like I have become one with the tide. I do not command the dead, I commune with them. I whisper to them, and I whisper back. By the time I make it near Whiterun, I know exactly which ones lag behind, which ones randomly disappear, and which ones have an unnaturally large aggro range. Eventually, it started feeling less and less like leading an army, but guiding a family. And so, step by step, we made it to the Gates of Solitude. Now it was time to drag them all in the arena. I also throw in some regular Draugr for some pizzazz. Once everyone was piled up, I head inside, cast the Ritual Stone, then watch the battle unfold. And with that, the final boss of the game is defeated. Alright, I hyped up Alduin to be the final boss. I go to High Hrothgar, shout angrily up the mountain where a dragon priest was waiting for me. I conjure Dwayne and 2 Dramora to spank his ass, and then wait for Alduin.
Hello, Alduin, hello. Where are you?
He's not spawning in. I just I just Oh look, there he is! Where did he come from? Silly Alduin, he must have overslept. He showed up completely naturally. I don't know what you are talking about. You must be hallucinating. At this point, I have been recording for like 8 hours straight and have spent the last 2 of those hours dragging a bunch of brainless morons across the map. So it's safe to say I was a little done. This was noticeable in the fact that I didn't take cover or move much during this entire fight. I just stood there like the Terminator, repeatedly shooting him, and face-tagging his breath attacks by chugging healing potions. And Alduin goes down. What an epic battle. With Alduin defeated, the world can finally return to normal. Peace and order re-established. That's going to be a wrap on this video. We saved the world from the zombie apocalypse by learning their ways and turning them against each other in the ultimate display of fighting fire with fire. And we achieved the final goal of every conjuration caster of not having to actually play the game. If you stuck around for this long, a sub or a like would be greatly appreciated. But either way, thank you for your time. Hey, future me here. As it turns out, there is an Alduin fight. You just have to go to Whiterun, and there he is, alongside 3 dragon priests for an epic showdown. I guess our conclusion is that I'm an idiot. Okay, bye.